Today I'm going to tell you about the night someone followed me home. I didn't notice them at first. I thought I was just being paranoid. But by the time I entered in my room, I realized I wasn't alone. Before I start, if you enjoy real, chilling stories like this, make sure you follow the channel, because trust me, this won't be the last time something like this happens. One night, when I was coming back from a dance party, something happened that I still can't explain. I knew something was in my room the moment I opened the door. Not because I saw it, because the air felt occupied. You know how a room feels when it's empty? This wasn't mine anymore. I stood in the doorway longer than I meant to, keys still in my hand, bag hanging off my shoulder. I had just come back from work. 12-hour shift, fluorescent lights drilling into my skull, feet aching, brain numb. All I wanted was sleep. Instead, my skin prickled. The lights were off, just like I'd left them. The window was closed, the curtains still half drawn. Everything looked normal, but the room felt like someone had been holding their breath inside it. I stepped in anyway. The door clicked shut behind me. The sound was louder than usual. I dropped my bag near the desk and kicked off my shoes. The floor felt colder than it should have. My bed was untouched, my wardrobe closed, my mirror reflecting the room back at me. I couldn't shake the feeling that if I turned too fast, I would catch someone stepping out of sight. From behind the wardrobe, from behind the door, from behind me. I didn't turn fast. I moved slowly, like prey pretending not to notice the predator. I went into the bathroom, washed my face, brushed my teeth. The entire time I felt watched. When I spat into the sink and looked up, for a split second, I thought there was a second shadow behind mine. I blinked. It was gone. I leaned closer to the mirror. Just me. Just exhaustion.
"Go to sleep," I whispered. "Sleep would fix this. Sleep always fixes everything." I turned off the lights. That was mistake number one. The darkness didn't settle naturally, like something had been waiting for permission. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. The silence felt thick. Usually at night, there are small sounds, distant cars, neighbors shifting, pipes ticking. Tonight, absolute stillness. And in that stillness, I heard it. A soft shift from near the wardrobe. My heart skipped. It could have been wood adjusting. It could have been fabric settling. It could have been my imagination feeding on fatigue. Then it happened again, like someone repositioning their stance. I sat up slowly. The room was black except for faint streetlight leaking through the curtains. I stared at the wardrobe. It stared back. I swallowed. "You're tired," I whispered. My voice sounded wrong in the dark, too loud, too alive. I lay back down, pulled the blanket up to my chin, closed my eyes. That's when I heard breathing. Not mine. Mine was shallow and uneven. This was slow, from somewhere near the foot of my bed. I froze, listened. Nothing. Then, there it was again. A slow inhale, a quiet exhale. I counted my breaths. 1, 2, 3. It didn't match mine. It was slightly delayed, like someone copying me. My chest tightened. "No," I breathed. The breathing stopped, instantly, like it heard me, like it knew I was listening. The silence that followed was worse, because now I knew it had been real. I reached for my phone on the bedside table. The screen lit up, casting pale blue light across the room. The wardrobe stood still, the desk chair unmoving, the door closed. I exhaled shakily, and then my light shifted slightly.
as if something had moved between me and the wall. I frowned, moved the phone higher. The shadow adjusted again, blocking the light, just for a second, as if someone was standing at the edge of the bed. My hand started shaking.
"Who's there?" I whispered. My throat tightened. I forced myself to sit up fully. I swung my legs over the side of the bed. The floor was cold, too cold, and for one terrible second, I felt something brush against my ankle. I yanked my foot back instantly, heart slamming so hard it hurt. Nothing was there, nothing visible, but my skin burned where it had touched. I turned the lamp on. Warm yellow light flooded the room. Everything looked ordinary again. So painfully ordinary, it made me want to laugh. "See?" I said aloud. "Nothing." My voice sounded small. I stood up, walked to the wardrobe, placed my hand on it. Solid. Still. I opened it. Clothes, shoes, storage box. No one was there. I crouched and checked under the bed. Nothing. I checked behind the door. Nothing. I checked the bathroom again. All clear. Every logical place a person could hide was empty. So why did it feel like I missed something? I turned off the lamp again. Mistake number 2.
The darkness returned faster this time, as if it had been waiting outside the edges of the light. I climbed back into bed, pulled the blanket up, closed my eyes, and then a sound from inside the wall. A faint scratch, slow dragging, directly behind my headboard. My eyes flew open. The scratch came again, longer this time, like fingernails sliding across plaster. My entire body went rigid. It wasn't pipes. It wasn't rats. It wasn't wind. It was deliberate, and it was right behind my bed. I slowly turned my head toward the wall. The paint looked normal, but I could feel something behind it, leaning close, listening. The scratching stopped, and then 3 soft knocks from inside the wall. Tears stung my eyes. "Please," I whispered. "Please stop." The knocks came again. I scrambled out of bed and stumbled to the door. I flung it open. The hallway outside was empty. No one there. I stood there breathing hard. Then I noticed something. The hallway felt normal. The fear was weaker, like whatever was in my room didn't want to leave it. I turned slowly back toward my bedroom. The darkness inside looked deeper than the hallway. I didn't want to go back in, but I couldn't sleep in the hallway forever. I forced myself inside, shut the door, locked it, as if that mattered. At midnight, my phone buzzed. I nearly screamed. A notification, no name, just a message preview. "I'm still here." My hands went numb. I opened it. Unknown number. The message read, "You forgot to check one place." My heart pounded so loud I felt dizzy. I scanned the room wildly. What place? I checked everywhere. The phone buzzed again. Another message. "Behind you." I couldn't breathe. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. Slowly, trembling, I lifted the phone and switched to the front camera. The screen showed my face, pale, terrified, and behind me, a shape, tall, standing directly against the wall. Its head tilted slightly, its face blurred. I gasped and spun around. The wall was empty, smooth, silent. My phone buzzed again. "You looked." The message vanished immediately after. The number disappeared, as if it never existed. I backed toward the bed slowly. My legs felt weak. I climbed under the blanket, as if fabric could protect me, as if hiding from something that wasn't even fully visible made sense. The room felt crowded now, the air heavy, thick, and then I felt it. The mattress dipped slightly near my feet. Not much, just enough, like someone had carefully placed a knee on the bed. I stopped breathing. The mattress dipped again.
Something was climbing onto the bed. Tears streamed down my face silently. "No," I whispered. The blanket tightened around my legs, pulled slightly. From the inside, I screamed and kicked violently. The dip vanished. The bed returned to normal. I sobbed, shaking. I didn't sleep. I sat upright with the lights on for the rest of the night. Nothing else happened. No scratches, no messages, no breathing. Just quiet. But it wasn't peaceful quiet. It was patient quiet.
Morning came like nothing had happened. Sunlight streamed through the curtains. I almost convinced myself it had all been a nightmare. Sleep deprivation, stress, overwork. I stood up slowly. The room looked perfectly normal, until I saw the wall behind my bed. 3 faint marks, long, vertical, like something had been dragged slowly downward, from inside. My throat went dry, and on my phone, one final notification. No sender, no number, just 3 words. Tonight again. My stomach dropped.
Because suddenly, I understood. It didn't break in. It didn't follow me home. It was already here. And I don't think it wants to hurt me. I think it's testing something. Seeing how long I last. Seeing when I stop checking. When I stop looking. When I finally fall asleep. Because that's when it moves the closest. And tonight, I have to go back to the same room, the same bed, the same wall. And I already know I won't sleep. Because once you feel something watching you, you never feel it. And the worst part, I'm starting to think it doesn't need the dark anymore.